Good morning! I was scrambling around like the last 5 minutes trying to get the loading screen. I said, fuck it! Previously on Kimba TV. You know that there's a whole shit ton of longs trapped right here? So if you start to get below here, it's gonna probably go ring. Totally makes sense to just go, fuck, stop me out. Oh my god, I knew it. And then my retail ass ends up top longing right here. Okay, talking about, fuck, I knew it. We're going to 75, y'all. 100K, y'all. Go fuck yourself. CPI. 15 seconds. 15, 16, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's get nasty. Let's get nasty. Ow! Get nasty. Get nasty. Happy CPI, ladies and gentlemen. Who juicing? How we doing? Skip Moha says snap diddly. Well, if you know, you know, but the initial move is usually a what? Black Panther, Wakanda forever! And don't forget about the 3 phases. Bogdan says, what is your plan now, bro? Nothing has changed.
REBATE.
Did you get to look at the previous CPIs? So you see how like the way it is says REBATE? A lot of times with CPI, whatever it does first, it's a trap. So if you want a short, you actually want it to pump first. If you want to long it, you want it to dump first. But if you go back and study a lot of the CPIs, you're going to notice that the initial move is a REBATE. It's fake. So the meme-ish sort of plan would be if it dumps like it did today first, a lot of people are going to long it. No, it dumped first, so a lot of people longed it. You see, some people were like, "Oh, I got the bottom," because they were anticipating longing. You don't go into today with trying to figure out a plan in the moment of. If you don't have a plan as of right now, unfortunately, you can't trade today. You just missed it. If you want to maybe construct a last minute plan for when markets open in about 55 minutes, you could do that. 3 phases is when, first phase is when it's just futures trading. The second phase is when futures react to the numbers, which is right now. And then third phase is when markets actually open and the markets react to the CPI numbers. So we're in phase 2 right now. Petevo says, how long is initial move in time? That's a little bit harder to figure out. But you can definitely look at the past CPIs and see for yourself how long the initial move lasts. Sometimes the initial move lasts all day, and then like the last hour of market open, it starts to reverse. So the best thing to do is to just look at the previous CPIs yourself and kind of try to time things and plan things out that way. That's why we were planning on it yesterday. But for me, Bogdan, I'm going to just try to get caffeinated. I still have my thang. I got to log back in. I still have my position from yesterday. Ender Tat says, just looked at previous 4 and all of them actually played out the same. Very nice, Ender Tat. That's why you gotta study. That's why you gotta prepare. And one in the house, what's going on? Tonic Beast. Black Panther. Elation, how can I check, boss, if the shorts are still trapped? CVD and open interest. But yes, they're still trapped. Bud Fox says, poker was great last night. Shout out, Bud Fox. Shout out, Skip Moha. Salhoha. Intertest says, you best believe I tracked them over the past 9 months. That's beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. Well, Intertat, any questions, brother? Markets are going to be opening in about 50 minutes. You guys ready? There you go. Yeah, just remember, Hayes, we always talk about stop loss and TPs. So we spent a bunch of time yesterday. People were asking about where's your stop loss and profit. So I'll always tell you if you ask, but just remember that we talked about where I would get stopped out in profit and why. So make sure you get caught up on stuff like that. Usually you'll never have to ask me stuff like that if you kind of get caught up. Blade Clap says, is there another option of net short, net long other than EXO? There might be. Yeah. Crypto gains. Sup Crim, what's going on? Gold is getting nasty. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nekizar, good morning. Maestro, where you been, Maestro? Dirty Z says, use CoinWank. CoinAnk. Lord have mercy, I gotta get more coffee. Deado, Maestro, I know, where you been? Hey, good to have you back, Maestro. Sephorex says, coffee. I know, right? Everybody juicing magoosin or what? Hayato-san, Atis, Lions don't play, Occident. Berbizi Iphilion says green tea. Oh, I would actually love some green tea, but I don't know. N1 says juice realized you were juicing. Let's go. Let's go, my boy. Yeah, as usual, we actually talked about this trade before it even happened and talked about the entry and stop loss. I believe it's the Wednesday highlight. But yeah, XLR says we here. XLR, I think you placed, right? Second or third on the poker tournament. Congratulations. Molly says early stream. I didn't get a chance to craft the coffee. International Lions, remember that the U.S. went through daylight savings time. We pushed forward an hour. So what used to be 7 o'clock in the morning in the U.S. is now 8 o'clock. So when I'm waking up at 7 o'clock Texas time, it actually feels like 6 o'clock in the morning Texas time, which actually feels like 4 o'clock in the morning West Coast time. Shit! But yeah, just remember, European International Lions, the U.S. had daylight savings time. So that might be why you're starting to think I'm streaming an hour early every day, but it's on time. Iphilion says, so did you manage to save the daylight? It's too early for that shit right now. Iphilion! Crazy Houston, Europe will have that end of the month? Oh, we don't do it at the same time, huh? Omkar, would you mind doing a slightly earlier poker today? I don't know if I can do a poker today. Maybe we'll do a poker, I'm not sure. Because I gotta do a bunch of actual stream-related stuff today. I'm going to start working on an HD version of the YouTube stream. Like a 1440p version of it. So, and then I want to give a bunch of mods access to it. So if the book map, I think the book map has stabilized quite a bit in the last 48 hours. But yeah, I got a couple things I got to do. Is everybody okay on subs? You guys all right? XLR says, yes, I did. I lost the last hand on the river. Damn, we got to start watching these. I hate leaving the stream when there's a poker tournament going on because I really want to commentate the final table. Shout outs to you, Tonic. Happy Tuesday, Tonic. Happy CPI, y'all. Hyder says, why did the market just go boom? Well, we've been talking about it for a couple weeks. Are you aware that there was a very important number that came out from the Fed today? It's CPI day. So this is actually pretty normal, Hyder. But it's all good. Happy CPI day, Hyder. Alrighty. These things happen almost every month, so you can always go back and take a look at the previous CPI days and see this kind of volatility. Yesterday, what I was telling some of the newer lions was, hey, go to the YouTube, !YouTube. There's probably 12, 13, 14 CPIs in here. Okay, look, we made 200K on August 9th CPI. Alrighty, but you can go FOMC, look, June 12th, CPI, April 12th, CPI. Alrighty, so you can watch the highlights and you can kind of prepare for the volatility. Haim Leon says, what would be your optimal exit for the long that you have on BTC USDT? So I have TPs. My next TP is at 73.1. After that, it's 73.5. After that, it's 74.6. So, Haim, I'm not, or maybe it's Chameleon, right? Is it Chameleon? I'm not really sitting here trying to predict the future. So I don't know what my optimal exit is in terms of a level. Chameleon, but I don't know if you've been here the last couple of days, but you know what would be my optimal, I guess an optimal exit for the long or the optimal entry for a short is when I see a big short squeeze. So you know that we've been tracking these shorts, and from about 69,000, there's about 550 million. Can you guys see this? So from this 69,000, okay, 68,900 peak right here, you have 543 million in shorts that are in the red and have not closed yet. So I would love to TP all my long when all the shorts have gotten squeezed. I would love to be in a short when all the shorts have gotten squeezed. TK Crypto King says, no one is talking about the CME 73.7 high right now on X. Really? No, I mean, I'm sure some people are. But that might be a good example of how even Twitter is just like your own echo chamber. Fruit says, where are you looking at the lick data? This is Exo charts. Superman says, yeah, many levels to lose, but gotta dream. Yeah. Yeah, so anyways, Chameleon. Could it dump without it sweeping the CME high? Sure. But I would like to see the CME high get swept. And I would like to see the net shorts get squeezed. Yeah, but I'm just going to have to take it level by level. You do realize that there is a chance that it doesn't have to grab the CME high because we save that for later and we go rotate back down to 50K, right? And you should be able to tell me if these are good or bad. Is that good or bad? So nothing has changed really from yesterday. We could even see a clean stop out all the bad lows and then go. So as always, Identify levels to the upside, downside. Volume based, time based. Look for single prints that perfectly line up on the golden pocket. Okay, so you have let's grab those single prints and then go. You know what I'm talking about, right, OGs? Grab and go. Grab and go. Right? You've got a sweep level and a single print. You could have a grab and go. Fuck all this. You could come all the way down because, like we said, there's a lot of longs trapped here. So they're all going to get stopped out pretty quickly. If this doesn't happen and you start to hang around, this is going to be a quick move down. Lots of longs right here. And so you've got single print, golden pocket, and you also have a volume node at 75786. And then to the upside, you have your CME sweep. That's about it. Adrian says, I'm still waiting for the Marco Polo merch. Hey! BRK says, what would you say about the possible dump signs aside from the short squeeze? CVD divergence, BRK. CVD divergence and S&P confluence. So today was CPI, right? This Friday is going to be weekly and quarterly options expirations. And then we have FOMC next Wednesday. And then next week's Friday options expirations is FOMC expiration. So probably traditional market confluence too, BRK. Domzer says, if it taps the first print, reclaims the range low fast, I would try that. Yeah. Woo! Oh my God, that's fucking legit. So what you're talking to me about is you've done this, eh? How many of y'all have done this? Fixed range? It's not this candle because this is the candle that went into the range. It would be this one. So your value area low is pretty high. If you did, actually, oh my God. Hey. Oh my God. Hey, there is no sweep. Domzer, look. This is actually good. Can you see the difference on CME and derivatives? Oh, look at CME. CME is actually good. The CME low is good. Can you guys see the difference? The CME, this is 30-minute candles, this is 30-minute candles. The CME low is good. But anyways, so the CME low is good. But if you did deviate that low, this is where you would have to try to tuck back in. Kind of a close call. Banana Man says CME sweep, but exchange all not sweep. Yeah, so possible to sweep on perpetual. Lower probability, Banana Man. It would be the other way around. If CME and Coinbase hadn't swept, then it's probably going to sweep again. If Coinbase and CME has swept, usually I don't want to say usually, but derivatives don't need to necessarily follow it. Hyphy Mikey says, how do we judge open interest if market makers are on the statistic and they always win? You're going to have different ways to know when the market makers are in and when the market makers are not. You want me to give you an example, Hyphy? So if this completely just goes above your head, Mikey or New Lions, don't worry about it, okay? But let me kind of give you one small example of how you can use the data to see what market makers are doing. Hyphy Mikey, have you ever ran into like those whale alerts on Twitter where they're like, hey man, $1 billion moved to Binance, or hey man, 50,000 Bitcoin moved to Coinbase? You ever see those? Did you know that you can use a tool like CryptoQuant, okay? And you can see if it's actually going to a spot wallet exchange or a derivative wallet exchange, okay? So if it's going to spot wallets, if it's going to a spot exchange, it's a pretty indicative thing, because on a spot exchange, if you move Bitcoin onto a spot exchange, the only thing that you can do is sell. So if you see 50,000 Bitcoin getting transferred to a spot exchange, that's statistically very bearish, okay? And it's rare that people like this are gonna move hundreds of millions of dollars worth of crypto to just pull it right out. So they're not gonna like spoof you on shit like that. If they're moving that much liquidity, they're gonna execute something, all right? On the other hand, if you see $100 million worth of stable coin, whether it's USDC, USDT, that's bullish, because the only thing that you can do with USDT on a spot exchange is you can buy, alrighty? Now, so that's pretty easy. But what if they get transferred into derivative exchanges, right? We don't know if they're going to be longing or shorting with it. Well, that's when you can use something like Coinalyze, and you can track the open interest, the aggregate open interest, and the CVD of that said pair. So if you notice, oh shit, somebody just moved 50,000 Bitcoin to Bybit derivative, well, you can start watching that pair, and you're going to start to see CVD divergences, and you're going to start to see open interest going up or down based off of if they're using that margin or not. All right. So once the money flows in, you can try to track it. Once it's tracked and you know where it's flowing in, you can measure the data to see how and where they're being used. Alrighty. Now, I'm going to give you a small example of what market makers might do. Market makers like to get into longs with coin margined contracts. Coin margin contracts means that you're using the Bitcoin as margin. So when you get liquidated or stopped out, you lose Bitcoin. When you TP or take profit, you get Bitcoin. All right. So a lot of times market makers will get into coin margined longs. And what happens when they TP is they get Bitcoin. They take that profit Bitcoin, they transfer it to spot, and they dump it on the spot market. So they take all of the Bitcoin from the retail traders, they scam pump, they get paid out in that Bitcoin, and then they turn around and dump it at the top with the same Bitcoin that they just took from the retail traders. So you're going to be able to see all of that through data. You can see the coins getting moved in. You can see that it went into derivative wallets. You can see the open interest and the CVD as they start using it. Alrighty. So that's how you can use data to kind of see what the market makers are doing. But does that make sense? If some of that didn't make sense, it's all right. I'm sure that it will click. It's really not that difficult, right, OG Lions? But that's just a small example of how we can use data and tools to figure out what the market makers might be doing. Tonic, you like that? Does that make sense? Did that make sense, brother? And so it's the same for, say, USDT. A lot of times they will get into stable coin margined shorts, right? And when they TP their shorts, they get USDT. They turn around and buy spot. But it's pretty goofy if you think about it. They take all of the Bitcoin away from the retail traders that were shorting, and they take that Bitcoin that they just took from them and sell it back to all the top longers and the top buyers. It's a cruel, cruel world out there. And there's 20, 30 different variations of that happening. But the point that I'm trying to make is you can track the data. If they're going to be opening coin margin positions, well, we're going to notice the coin margin open interest and the CVD having some sort of influence. So All right, everybody, Gucci. Markets open in 12 minutes, right? That is correct. Pudding Flower says, so the 618 is more bearish than 05. Not all the time, but based off of what we've seen the S&P do on the fibs, yeah, there's a good chance that after it nukes, it's going to confirm that it's resistance and then make lower lows. But it's just about pattern recognition, Pudding Flan. So if you notice that it's starting to change, then we have to adapt. Something like that, brother. And then like this is Biddy. Shout outs to you, brother. And if you keep watching, you're gonna see it. Pudding Flan, I really try my hardest not to like say my opinion, but just remind y'all what we've seen together. So Pudding Flan, eventually if you watch long enough, like you and I, we're all seeing the same shit. It's just a matter of like how far back can we all individually remember shit. The way that I would interpret this, Pudding Flan, is if it cannot get back above that golden pocket, it would be pretty bearish. It's not so much that it went to the 7.5 or the 7.86 that I would consider bearish. It's the fact that it can't stay above the golden pocket that I would consider bearish. So, but that being said, the markets just opened. It's only been 14 minutes. And the S&P is trillions of dollars flowing in and out. And so let's not get too caught up on watching 5-minute candles, on something with a crazy market cap and 4, 5, 6 hours left of trading. Yeah. But anything you want to talk about, Pudding Flan? If it does poo-poo, you have levels. These are no good. These are no good. But this is actually good. So you're probably staring at that VWAP. You're probably staring at that value area low, and you're probably staring at the Fibonacci Bugacci's. Should we go Latuche up? Oh, we don't even have to do that. I don't even have to go that far. Nori says, I just got here. Do I need to rewind? I don't know. We just had CPI volatility, and I just, we identified a couple levels, Fibonacci's, talked about what would be bullish, what would be bearish. I mean, you still see me in my long, right? I told everybody what my next TP levels were. So I don't know. You let me know. The plan hasn't changed since yesterday. I already have my stop loss and profit, right? So that motherfucker's either going to get hit or I'm going to get my TPs to the upside. We broke down the probabilities of the CME all-time high sweep. That hasn't changed. The only thing that really maybe we had an injection of is the CPI volatility. But has my long been invalidated and my stop loss and profit, has that gotten hit? No. Has my TPs to the upside gotten hit? No. Have we had a little bit of bing, bing, bing to just kind of shake out some retail out of the tree? Yes. But the levels from yesterday and the levels from the day before that haven't really... They're still the same, basically. So, yeah. I mean, let me know. And here's the thing, Nori. Like, you're a good trader. You know that, Nori? And so, I feel like you would already have an individual bias. Maybe you're already in a long. Maybe you're already in a short. Maybe you're looking for a short. Maybe you're looking for a pullback to get into a long. But you feel free to ask me like the specific context in which you want to know. You know, it's a lot easier to be just direct and spend the time, you know, just getting to the point on where there might be a pullback where you could get into a long, you know, or how am I going to play the CME sweep? You know what I mean? So, uranium, what's going on? Patton says, can you show us CME? Here you go. Here. So I'm going to clean off all this fib shit, okay? But math, this is what I mean by the math is the math. Everybody Gucci? All right? There's no reason to get bearish on that because that's mathematically normal. What you get bearish on is if it does that. But this is exactly why. And there's no right or wrong. Just remember this shit for next time. Same thing with CME. Pretty cool, right? We were just talking about, watch the VWAP, watch the Fibonacci, watch the value area low. You had no body candle closes. Look, you're at value area high now, ladies and gentlemen. Snap dizzle for shizzle. Snap dizzle for shizzle, math. Stop guessing. There you go, math. I think the best thing that we saw today, ladies and gentlemen, correct me if I'm wrong, because there's no right or wrong, but in my opinion, when we looked at CME and we saw that this was Gucci, out of everything, this was the giveaway for me. Who was here live when we stumbled upon the good low on CME? How many of you guys saw that live with me together? That was pretty dope. That was pretty dope. So again, it's all about probabilities. Remember that for next time. Somebody was asking, hey man, what if CME has a good low, but the derivatives don't? TP, my next TP coming up. I said the TPs out loud, right? I said the TPs out loud, right? Bugatti money, right? The math is the math, right? Testnet, right? Oh! We got a little bit of TP. We got a little bit of TP, but here it is. Moment of truth. Uh-oh. 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 I got a little bit greedy. I have a little bit more up top. Uh-oh. But is this the sweep? What are we doing? What we doing? Oh shit, I gotta get the Crakeezy open. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Giozati, thank you for the resub. Don't be mad at me.
100x short.
Not my hands. I'm just wiggling my body from side to side. Lee Quax has got filled. Okay. Okay. Let's go. I wish mine was way bigger, but fuck, man. Giozati says filled. Let's see what gonna happen. Let's see what gonna happen. Uh-oh! 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 CME all-time high has swept. Uh-oh! Quit playing with me. Steady, gentlemen. Steady. Mr. Viper says got filled too. Preparation. And you know what I'm going to say, right? I don't care if you got filled or not. But ladies and gentlemen, exclamation prepared. How long did we talk about the CME all-time high sweep, ladies and gentlemen? So here we go. This is quiz time, ladies and gentlemen. Quiz time, ladies and gentlemen. Quiz time, let's go. Where is everybody's invalidations at? Now here's the thing. Open interest. Open interest. Let me move the chat for you guys. So Kodu says 72.7 filled here. Okay, so everybody that got filled, you cannot lose. Yes? A, everybody that is in the short, you don't let it turn red. That's all I'm going to say because I feel like it's already too late for me to repeat it, right? Yeah, but A, preparation, anticipation, stay safe. Alrighty? There's still 19 minutes on this 30-minute candle. You guys see that I hit a little bit more TP? A tiny bit more TP? Shaved a little bit more. And I did say where my TPs were, right? Out loud, so we're good, right? Sozo says, if we get confirmation at the box, how do you think through sizing your ads to the El Paquito short? Layered across the box, 1, 2, 3, 4 in weight. Yeah, that's the most traditional way to do it, Sozo Center. Just because 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is what? 10. So a lot of people will go Kimba box and then divide it into quadrants. And then 1 Bitcoin, 2 Bitcoin, 3 Bitcoin, 4 Bitcoin as the weight. If you do that, you're going to end up, and if you get fulfilled at the 786, your average entry is usually right in front of the 7.5. But, you know, sometimes people like to go yin-yang twins. Do you know about yin-yang twins? You know, they go 3, 6, 9, damn she fine. So they'll divide it into thirds and they'll go 3, 6, 9. All right. They all have like, some people like to do 2, 5, 2, the Sierra 2-step. Alrighty. So something like that, Sozo. But this is what I would say, Sozo. I'm going to use the Fibonacci levels to see if I'm going to get stopped out or not. I don't really know if I'm going to add. Remember what we said is that any short attempts before the open interest nukes, I'm going to make sure I get stopped out at break even. Okay, so for example, if this is really going to be Kimba box, right, and this goes to there, if you miss that or just end up getting stopped out on your short, the real juice comes when this is lost. So you can try to get back in here, but the safest way to play this is lose it, bearish retest. That is actually better. I know it kind of sucks because then it would be like this. Then it would be like this. And at bare minimum, you would be looking at this or this. But I think both of these, I would not long both of these. I wouldn't long both of these. I would probably like try to aim for that. Single print grabbed. Okay, so look. And by the way, I said I had TPs here. Okay, but I canceled them. So I still have the full 12 Bitcoin. I don't even want to say 12 Bitcoin. It's like telling people, hey man, I have a micro penis. Guess where it went to? What do we say? Single print, golden pocket, volume. Volume node, 7.5, pixel perfect. Hello? Is this thing on?
Micro penis lungs FTW.
Are we good? This is playing out fast today. I know. Beautiful. Math is the math. If I took the 7.5, then I would need to see a local lower low to be made before I move it to break even. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, why the fuck do I need to wait all the way down here? Then don't do that. And go ahead and just trail your stop loss into profit and get your thang. RNK says, I would go behind 886 or higher. I think the homie knows where, right? Because remember when we did swing high, swing low, what is the value area high? Isn't that like the 886? Right? So I think the homie knows where the stop loss is, but he's asking when would it be appropriate to move the stop loss to break even? Is that what the question is, Crappy? You're asking when would it be appropriate to move the stop loss to break even, right? Yeah. So I think you know what everybody else is saying, like 886 or higher high, right? So rule number one, the local structure changes. So you would end on the 30-minute. So by the book would say when you make a lower low locally, Crappy. So that's option number one, okay? Option number two is you do Fibonacci retracements. So if you go with the idea that, hey, it's okay if it wicks, but ideally you don't have significant body candle closes below this, it would be this. Because this is completely normally expected. So yes, I think not only when it bounces off of 0.5, but when it loses 0.58, because sometimes you're going to notice it doesn't pixel perfect back to 0.5, and it might do this on your ass. It might do this on your ass. Especially if it's extra bearish. So losing the 0.58 might be your opportunity to close, or put your stop loss at break even. Crappy, you know why I love that you asked that question? Because at the end of the day, brother, it's not going to matter what I'm doing. And the only reason why, like sometimes people will actually focus on being angry on why I didn't tell you guys when I was entering, instead of trying to get better themselves at trying to figure this shit out. So, Crappy, it doesn't matter what I did or what you did, right? And you were already in a short. And it really doesn't matter too much if I added or not. But you can see the edge, right? You can see that the open interest went down, right? You can see the CVD divergence, right? Were those not two things that we talked about? I'm pretty sure for a couple of hours while we were fucking around down here, we talked about, am I going to add? What was the edge? Why would I? Why would I take the short? Right, Crappy? So on that note, Crappy, I'm literally thinking the exact same thing. Took the 7.5, stop loss is 886. And so when you ask me, did I add? Yes. But you do realize that I can't let this go red. But you see how it's not even as big as I normally would because I had to balance it out? You guys see how I had to balance it out so that I can still get stopped out and I can make it barely break even? So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing literally everything that I talk about. Open interest edge, check. CVD, baby div, check. So, okay, fine, let's take it. And if I still get stopped out, right where that stop loss is, because of the way that I had my Kraken, I can barely get away with a break even. Same position, same stop loss as Beru. Nice, nice, nice. So make sure that you're planning, make sure that you're anticipating, all right? And Beru, there's 100% no, we don't have a 100% probability that it's going to work out, right? So, one, And you're not going to get everything ideally that you would want. But the closer that you close to the opening of that candle, the better. The closer that you close to the 7.5, the worse it is for shorters. Makes sense, right? And Homie was asking a really great question. When would it be appropriate to move it to break even? I think we've seen this, pretty often where we know that even if we do this, we know that it can just do this. So losing that 0.5 or bouncing off of 0.5 is going to be a the short ain't working type of shit, right? So even if I end the stream right now, you should not be telling me tomorrow about, oh my God, I got wrecked. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Do you have a hedge long from here, Beru? It wouldn't surprise me if you did. And the most important thing, anybody that is going to try shorts, is watch the open interest. You guys Gucci? This right there, that is a bad high. Okay? So the probability that gets swept is high, which means if it comes back here, it could just very well bounce. And I need to keep that in mind when I have my shorts. It could also go to the 0.5 and bounce, but this is kind of good. So either you're gonna completely nuke and shit yourself, or you gotta probably pay attention to these levels. Okay? And then were you here when we were talking about this long? So this long, there's a bunch of lions that took this long. But that's the same thing that we would do to the opposite side. So you go swing low, swing high, Kimba box. So that's your mathematical levels. You had volume peak at the 7.5, 7.86. And then you had hidden bull div. Alrighty. So, anytime you see something like that, that's a good long too. A lot of lines are in that long too. So if this pulls back and there's a hidden bull div, again, don't be surprised if I'm in a long, If this bounces to the golden pocket and it starts to flip back, I probably got stopped out in tiny profit. If this just sweeps like that, I'm still okay. I may have added on the tap bit position. Okay. If it goes to 886, I'm stopped out on Kraken and the MEXC. So it's all kind of there for you. What a day! What a day! Wait! He always enters into position too early, and he always enters the scene too early. Ladies and gentlemen, longers, I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. Bulls, bears, we're all lions. Let's see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really excited to regroup with y'all tomorrow. I'm going to be here early as fuck. Let's get nasty. Sato, tell them what happens if they don't use stop loss.